We got to get to the Phillies. As I put the standings up, Phillies are 44-19, best record in Major League Baseball, an 8-game lead over the Braves. Who would have thunk that? Jody, how good is this team, and especially the pitching? Can you believe what we're seeing out of the starting pitching, even the bullpen now?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to say, I saw this coming. Yeah, nobody saw this coming. Come on. I don't think the Phillies themselves, in their most optimistic of minutes, thought that this was coming. Ranger Suarez has been off the charts great. I've been a Nola guy forever. I've gotten into many an argument as to whether Aaron Nola is an ace. I said this season, the previous season, the season before that, Phillies are lucky in that they have two aces. They have Wheeler and they have Nola. Some teams have none. Phillies are lucky enough to have two. And this year, they've got a guy who's pitching like an ace. So Ranger, for at least the first half, can call himself an ace. We'll see if he can do it over the entire season. You got three aces. Something like, I don't know, maybe putting up the best record in baseball is going to happen. And that's exactly what's happened here in Philadelphia. They are actually number one in Major League Baseball in runs scored coming into today's action, and their two spot won't raise it up all that much, but the W is very nice. They are number 2 overall in ERA. The Yankees team pitching staff actually has a better ERA. So they're doing that on both sides. When they need the hits, they get the hits. They've been, except for extra innings, a very clutch team this year, and the pitching has just been off the charts great. I got to pay a little bit better attention to the Yankees. That how the hell watching the Phillies night in, night out, who could actually be better pitching than the Phillies? Well, the Yankees are slightly.
And Garrett Cole's not even pitching yet. He's coming back in a week or two, probably.
Yeah, he's going to be re-added to that team. Yes, the Yankees and the Phillies are running away and hiding from their respective divisions and borderline leagues. So I'd buy into a 2009 World Series repeat. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's interesting that that the hitting hasn't really started yet. We talked a little bit about this earlier. The bomb approach that they had last year, where they just hit home runs after home runs. Home runs actually down a little bit, but runs are up, wins are up. It's a good thing, I think.
Agreed. And at some point, Kyle Schwarber is going to start hitting more home runs. June is supposed to be his month. Hasn't hit one yet in June. Come on, Kyle. We're 5 days in. What the heck's the holdup? He's going to hit his home runs. You know that. Harper's going to hit his. Bohm is not a home run hitter. All he is a hitter and drives in runs left, right, center. A little bit of a funk this week, but hit the huge home run, as a matter of fact, last night to tie the game and then get an extra inning win, and one of their few extra inning wins this year. Balance. Balance has been a key. They have better balance in their lineup this year, mostly because of Bohm. I'll give them the great majority of that credit. But the shortstop, whoever that may be, Turner or Sosa, both been phenomenal as well. So that's how you get balance throughout your lineup, and that's how they're the top scoring team in baseball.
You mentioned the shortstop position. When Trey Turner gets back, we assume that's going to be, within the next week or two. What happens with Edmundo Sosa and his playing time?
My guess, I could probably say my hope, they're paying Turner $330 million. And, by the way, he was hitting $345 when he went out.
Yeah.
So you're not about to make him a part-time player. He's going to be their shortstop. I just hope Sosa gets the at-bats that Whit Merrifield has been getting. Now, I said on the air when they signed him this spring, nice signing, solid guy, will fit in with this clubhouse, good dude. Didn't know if he'd be able to make the transition, but thought it'd be all right to becoming a part-time player. He has not handled it well. He just may be incapable of being a part-time player after being a regular player for a decade. He just hasn't been able to make that transition. And even though they paid him good money, not outrageous, but good money to come here, if they can't move him, then they're just going to have to move away from him. And I hope Sosa's getting those at-bats that he gets, because I want Edmundo Sosa swinging the bat for me, not Whit Merrifield. If they can, I'm sure they will attempt to move him, but I'm not sure. They're going to have to eat a good portion of the contract. If it becomes an issue with guys who have earned playing time and not getting any, and I'm not saying Sosa should become a full-time player, but the same role that Merrifield's playing, that should be Sosa's when Turner returns.
Yeah. How about that bullpen? Strom, Hoffman, Alvarado, they're lights out every night. and pitching in different spots in the rotation. Rob Thompson has moved the ball around. You never know which one's going to close which night. But and Soto has pitched really well. What do you think of what's going on out there? Pretty amazing so far.
One guy you didn't touch on, which has actually been good news here over the last week, has been Sir Anthony. Sir Anthony has probably struggled more than anybody out of the bullpen. The four guys you're at, 3 of the 4, Strom, Alvarado, Hoffman, Kirkring have been lights out good. Right. Sir Anthony has struggled, and he's really picked it up over the last 7 to 10 days, somewhere thereabouts. If you turn back the clock to mid last month, people were calling for Sir Anthony to get some time in AAA. Hey, he can't be working his stuff out here in the big leagues. Create an injury, get him down to the Iron Pigs, let him pitch down there for 2 weeks. And I don't know that he heard it or he was made known of it, but he really has picked it up. I think he's only given up 1 run in his last 8 outings, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it was as per last night, which just makes him another arm deep in that bullpen. Guys, I've been saying this for the better part of a couple of weeks on WIP. Everybody wants to play amateur general manager. You do, I do. It's kind of in my genes. I was raised that way, being always questioning how you can make a team better. But I also know the phrase, sometimes the best trade that you make is the one that you don't make. And right now, I don't think the Phillies need to do a damn thing. Everybody, we could upgrade the outfield. Our outfield's not all that good. You can always use another arm in the bullpen. If there's an injury, a starting pitcher, nothing. The Phillies just need to get healthy. And luckily, the injuries I got this week with Marsh going down, added to the Turner injury. Ranger looks like he's going to be good to go on Saturday. That was scary when he took the shot off the hand the other night. But it looks like he's just going to get pushed back a couple days, not going to miss a start at all. Just stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing and avoid injuries. Now, if there is a massive injury, then I got faith Dombrowski will be aggressive and he'll go out and he'll try and fill the void. But to do something for something's sake, because, you need to prove that you're all in. No, the Phillies proved that they're all in by their record every single day. Look it up. Best in baseball. They don't need to do one thing with this roster right now.
One criticism some people have had has been the offensive output from the outfield. But, Johan Rojas, while not hitting a lot, has gotten some key hits. And the game-winning RBI last night and the game-winning 2-run homer today came from this guy, Nick Castellanos, who maybe is finally getting things going. You like Castellanos? Is he going to, have a good second half of the year, you think?
I like him well enough. One of the few things I've second-guessed Rob Thompson on all year. And Rob not listening to me. I don't think he's listening to anybody. He's got his plan and he's sticking to it. He plays Castellanos every day.
Every day.
Not almost every day. Every day.
Yep.
And a day when he's been in these funks, he goes into funks and he goes 2 for 22 and you watch his batting average plummet below 200. Now he's in a little bit of a hot streak, so he's got it back up over 200. He hit a couple homers. So now, I can't complain. Okay, put him out there every single day, Rob. But when he was struggling, he just refused to ever give him a day off. Their mindset is, and when I say they, I mean Rob, and I'm sure Castellanos is telling him, my best solution is to play. I'll get my swing. It'll come around. The more that I play, the better it'll come around. And Rob bought into it. So I have not agreed with the way that Castellanos has been used every day this year, but I do like the way he's swinging the bat. And your point about the outfield struggling. Okay, struggling is compared to who?
Right.
I did this last night.
Our expectations, right?
Right, exactly. I did this last night with Paul Casella, covers PhilliesMLB.com last night. I threw him a pop quiz. I'm an OPS guy. The newfangled statistics analytics they have are so difficult to understand.
Yes.
Everybody understands the meat and potatoes, home runs, RBIs, batting average. OPS is a good middle ground. It's not the new analytics, but it's not the old school simplistic analytics. So I lean on that as my most telltale thing to judge a player's offensive performance by. So I asked Paul last night, give me the OPS number that you would consider a player having to have to be an above-average starting player at his position, what should his OPS be? And Paul thought for a second and said, above average? Yeah, above average. He said, probably about 800. If you've got an 800 OPS, that would be, star players are high 800s, 900s, MVPs are high 900s, 1,000, an above average major league player OPS 800. Do you know how many outfielders in the National League right now have an OPS of over 800?
Nope.
One. Jerkson Profar of the San Diego Padres. He's it. That's it. And I'm talking about guys who qualify, play enough to win the batting title, 3.1 plate appearances per games played. There's one outfielder in the National League. So everybody wants to compare the Phillies outfielders to all-star outfielders. Who are the all-star outfielders in the National League this year? Shoot, Castellanos was one last year, and if he stays hot for the next 10 days, he may get into consideration by the time the vote comes down. The Phillies outfield is fine. If Marsh is healthy, he's fine. Castellanos is a sink or swim, peak and valley type guy. And yes, even my guy in center field, who I critiqued a little bit because he wasn't playing all that well defensively. He's supposed to be Gary Maddox part 2, and he hasn't been.
Right.
He's made a couple of great plays this week. So I will live and die with the Philly outfield right now. Rojas is coming along. Marsh is fine. If they try Sosa out there a little bit, he doesn't kill him in left field, that might not be the worst thing in the world. The outfielder I want to acquire from the Philadelphia Phillies is already on the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't think they need to do anything there.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go with Castellanos. Once school gets out and his family gets up here, he's going to kick it in like he seems to do. One final question I have for you with the Phillies, the Taijuan Walker Turnbull decision. Not one that I was too much in favor of, and still not really in favor of.
Yeah, $18 million and $18 million. That's how much they owe Taijuan Walker the next 2 years. Yeah. I'll give Rob Thompson credit this week because he was asked about it. He's asked about it every 2 or 3 days. And he did say it will be a performance-based decision. It will not solely be decided by one guy making $18 million and the other guy making $2 million. If Taijuan doesn't start to pick it up a little bit, because he's been the worst thing for Taijuan Walker is the fact that he's in a rotation with 4 aces right now. So he sticks out like a sore thumb. Right. He has not been awful. He just hasn't been good. He better get the good at some point because Spencer Turnbull sure has been good. And yes, I think it's the obligation of the manager to put together the best rotation that he can. And at some point, they will put Turnbull back in the rotation. If it'll be decided by Walker, it won't be decided by Turnbull. It'll be decided by Walker and how long it takes him to get to the level of being a good starting pitcher.